Hello out there to all of you, and welcome to another episode of Fear the Common Core No More. Today we're going to talk about strategies to teach and to practice balanced or equal equations. This, for me, is one of the most challenging concepts to teach young learners. For those of you who are not up to speed on what balanced equations are, they are the basis for algebraic thinking. They are a solid understanding of what the equal sign means when looking at an equation. At the most basic preschool and kindergarten level, teaching what equal means is essential. You can do this in a lot of different fun ways as they're learning to compare numbers and quantities. If you need some activities like this, please go check out my video on comparing numbers, linked in the description box below. This video today is going to focus more on what students are asked to do once they have this solid understanding of what equal means. Let's start with a simple question that is the entire basis for learning about balanced equations. What does equal mean? Students are usually taught that equal means the same, but I personally think it's better to tell them that equal means the same value as. So when they read an equation, they would say 8 is the same value as 5 and 3, or 5 and 3 is the same value as 4 and 4. Saying the same value rather than stopping short at the same makes the concept just a little bit easier to understand. If you say 8 is the same as 5 and 3, you may have students who are confused because 8, 3, and 5 are all different numerals. Saying they're the same value means the two quantities are the same, which makes a lot more sense. Okay, so let's get into our next question. What is a balanced equation? A balanced equation is one where both quantities on either side of an equal sign are the same value. So if you have the equation 6 plus 4 equals 5 plus 5, you'll notice that both of these values are equal to 10, which makes these equations balanced. Children are introduced to balanced equations as early as the end of kindergarten and into first grade. In fact, this was part of my son's homework packet this week, and he's only been in first grade for about 2 months. So what kinds of balanced equations can you expect to see at the first grade level? First off, you will likely have some teachers that ask students whether equations are balanced or not. These types of worksheets will usually be in a true or false format, which means students will have to determine whether a list of equations is equal or not. I have also seen sorting activities where students need to cut out a group of equations and sort them into equal and unequal categories. Something more advanced that you may be surprised by is that students will be given 2 equations that they will be asked to balance. Let's look at an example from my son's first grade homework. The directions said to find the missing addend to make the equations equal. So he saw a bunch of equations that looked like this in his workbook. He is usually really quick with his math homework, but this one threw him for a loop. He didn't even really know where to begin. Let me give you some tips on how to approach this with your child since it's so fresh in my own mind. First off, your child needs to identify what they can solve immediately in this problem. Is there any part of this that can be solved without too much trouble? Sure, 4 plus 5 can be solved because you have both addends. I would start off by solving that and then rewriting the equation as 9 equals 1 plus blank. If your child is fluent in math facts to 10, this part will be easy. If not, I suggest using objects or drawing a picture. For Jack, we drew 9 circles because we knew both sides of the equation needed to be equal to 9. We knew we had a 1 as an addend from our second equation, so we colored in 1 circle. Then we just counted the remaining circles to see that 8 was the addend needed to balance the equation. We kept going with this strategy, which worked really well for him. If drawing would be too much for your little one, try using 2 different objects. You could use 2 different colored Legos, 2 different snack foods. My go-tos are always Goldfish and Cheerios. Or you could simply use pennies, where some of them are flipped to heads and some are flipped to tails. Get creative. As long as your child has something concrete to work with, it should work out for you. Tools we typically use in the classroom to help with balanced equations are dominoes, linker cubes, and dice. Linker cubes are great because you can line them up to see what the quantity is missing for your equation. Dominoes are fun because you can sort them based on their sum. Even my kindergarten students can do this simply by adding up the number of dots on the dominoes and placing them under that number card. With older students, you could have them write down the equations for each domino so they can see the quantities represented in an abstract way, the same way they might on a test or on a worksheet. Playing dice games is another great way to practice balancing equations. Roll the dice and build the equation with objects. Keep rolling the dice until you get your balanced equation. So, I hope you enjoyed this little glimpse into your first grade child's homework. I hope it gave you some ideas on how to support them at home. This is definitely going to be something your child needs to practice a lot before they feel most comfortable with it. And it is something they're going to see throughout their educational career in pretty much every math class they ever take. So do make sure you spend the time on this one. It is important. And if you need some more ideas for how to practice, please reach out to me. You know you can always reach out to me on social media at Walk Away From The Workbook on Facebook and Instagram, or you could email me directly at walkawayfromtheworkbook@gmail.com. Please don't be shy. I am definitely happy to help. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and share it with a friend who might find it helpful, useful, or interesting. Until next time, have fun learning with your little ones. Bye.